Hi, and welcome back to the Ziggy Zone. Today, we're going to do something that I normally don't do, which is talk about college sports. Um, College sports just isn't that entertaining to me. However, March is my favorite month for all college sports, mainly basketball. Why? It's March Madness time! I simply love March Madness. It's the NCAA tournament. It is like the best. We're like there's like a committee that they vote in for schools or teams to play. And I just think it is so exciting. You talk about college athletes who really work hard and, to be recognized on the national level. So we're not going to do the full, top 25 teams, but I am going to pick out a few teams that stand out to me that are expected to be in the tournament this year. So in the number one spot, which we all pretty much knew they would be the number one spot, is Kentucky. They are undefeated. They're 31-0, I think. So they're doing good. They are having a really good season. It's really going to be interesting to see, how they do come the tournament time, which is set to start actually this week. And then in the number two spot, we've seen them here before, Duke, although I'm not going to throw too much to Duke, being that they are from Durham, North Carolina, and I went to school in Raleigh, so, we'll definitely keep Duke, although I'm not like a Dookie, I think is what they call themselves. I actually don't like the campus. I went there one time and got so nauseated because I just felt like I was going in circles. I was like, oh my gosh. Anyway, but Duke is on the list, and always shout out to North Carolina, the state. Carolina Tar Heels, they're on the list as well. But we're talking about Duke. And the number 7 is Gonzaga. Gonzaga it's one of those teams that they're always there, and they always have a pretty strong team, and I don't know if I like them because I like the name Gonzaga, or Gonzaga, depends on who's saying it. But who knows? The one thing with these tournaments is it's sudden death. So, at number 9, we have Kansas, and Kansas is they're a good team as well. And then Baylor. Baylor in recent history has solidified themselves, good, once again, basketball program. So you're kind of interested to see, what's going to happen with those guys as well. And then coming in at 23rd is Georgetown. So, and, Georgetown is just a reputable team, reputable name, reputable program. So, sort of mainstays. Most of these, the 1, 2, 3, 6 that I've just discussed that are, in the top 25. I mean, these are mainstay teams. There's always that one team that, the underdog that no one is really expecting to win. I'll do my bracket next week. Because actually probably right now as we speak, they're doing the final submissions and everything. So I'll give next week, we'll do a brief bracketology type thing, so we can see where I am. Or I might do that midweek too, so we'll see. But I'm really excited. March Madness is the only time I watch college sports, mainly basketball. We know basketball, former athlete, used to love playing basketball, still do enjoy it, but it's the only sport that I really love watching at the collegiate level. So on the top 25 were 3 schools that I didn't see, which was actually interesting to me. And once again, not sure exactly what's happening just because of the submissions, and that probably won't come until later. So yeah. Anywho, Michigan, they're not there. Michigan, I think it's Michigan State, either Michigans actually. Didn't see Michigan, didn't see Alabama. UAB. I think I didn't see UAB, which is a really good program down there. They usually I think they can always make it Sweet 16, sometimes Elite 8. St. John's. Didn't see St. John's. St. John's, that team like you just always hear about them. They're usually there, so it's interesting to see what will happen. Once again, all of the final submissions and everything, that probably will not be done until later on tonight. So I'll have to do an update for you either midweek or next week, and I will provide my bracket to see which teams will win each matchup and to see who will make the Final Four and essentially who wins the NCAA tournament. And then my favorite team, my favorite college team is not on the list, and that is UConn. Like, I've never even been to Connecticut. I actually don't even know anyone who's ever played for the team, but I feel like Connecticut, like UConn, like I just feel like they have always been such a good program. That's always been such a good program. And I feel like those teams have always done really well. So to see the top 25 and to not see UConn, I'm like, what? What's going on with UConn? Like, it does not matter, like, who's playing. Like, I'll always choose UConn. UConn for the men's and the women's, by the way. We're talking about men's here, but don't sleep on UConn women. Like, I want to say they won it recently. I'm not sure. I didn't pay attention to NCAA last year. But I want to say the women, UConn women's, they won, like, within, like, the last 3 years, I think. Forgive me if I'm wrong. But yeah, like to not see UConn is amazing. So with that, we're going to talk about our NCAA. That's all I have for you today. I know this is a short one. I know you probably appreciate me for having a short video. But stay tuned because I will bring more to you for the NCAA tournament, especially as things get underway this week. Woo! March Madness!